Once considered a dependable growth engine, the global textile industry has faced some serious headwinds over the past 3 to 4 years. Valued at over $1 trillion, the sector has been dragged down by chronic overcapacity and weakening global demand, straining both manufacturers and supply chains. In 2023, these pressures intensified. Global inflation surged on the back of high energy and raw material costs, squeezing profit margins across the textile value chain. India hasn't been spared either. The textile and apparel industry contributes 2.3% to the country's GDP and 12% to export earnings as of FY25. Yet, for the second consecutive year in FY24, textile exports declined, largely due to geopolitical uncertainty and a tepid global economic outlook. But amidst this turbulence, one company has quietly bucked the trend: KPR Mill Limited. This company has been a standout performer at a time when the entire sector was actually down. This Coimbatore-based company is one of India's largest vertically integrated textile companies and has delivered a 14% CAGR in sales over the past 5 years. Welcome to Bottom Line by Grow. I'm Radhika Bajaj. In today's episode, we analyze how KPR Mill has outperformed in a sluggish market, its challenges, and what lies ahead. Let's begin. KPR Mill operates across the entire textile value chain, from yarn production to ready-made garments. Its product range spans yarn, fabric, garments, sugar, ethanol, and even renewable energy. It also generates a substantial portion of its own power, reducing energy costs and providing a buffer against volatility in energy prices. Let's talk about its first vertical, textiles. The textile segment contributed 81% of KPR's total revenue in FY25. The company runs 6 state-of-the-art spinning mills, producing up to 1 lakh metric tons of cotton yarn and 177 million knitted garments annually. More than 30% of the yarn is used in-house for fabric manufacturing, while the rest is sold to a network of 1,300 domestic customers. Likewise, about 50% of the fabric is consumed internally for garment production, with the balance supplied to leading brands like Arvind, Raymond, and other knitted export manufacturers. In a strategic expansion, KPR also launched Faso, its retail brand for organic innerwear and athleisure, a move that allows it to directly tap into India's rising demand for premium lifestyle wear. KPR's global footprint is solid too. It exports to 60+ countries. KPR's second vertical, its sugar and ethanol business, has emerged as a key growth engine. Supported by 2 fully integrated mills in Karnataka, the company crushes 20,000 tons of cane per day and operates ethanol distillation capacity of 470 kiloliters per day. This vertical contributed about 17.45% of total revenues in FY25, a 3.5-fold growth since FY20. Now, thanks to this diversification, KPR has maintained a stable bottom line despite the volatility in the global textile space. The same is reflected in the company's stock price movement as well. In the past 5 years, the stock has delivered a 62% CAGR until June 2025. That said, net profit has remained flat over the past 3 years, reflecting muted sales growth. But then one wonders, are there any growth triggers ahead? The answer is yes. This muted growth could reverse as exports for the company gain momentum. One major tailwind for KPR is the India-UK Free Trade Agreement, which has been signed, with Europe contributing 60.8% of its export revenue in FY25. This FTA could eliminate export duties and offer up to a 10% cost advantage over competitors from Bangladesh and Vietnam. Additionally, KPR's zero-debt balance sheet positions it well to invest in future growth through capex or expansion. On a macro level, the global apparel market is projected to grow at 8% CAGR, reaching $2.37 trillion by 2030, while India's home textile market is expected to grow at 8.9% CAGR, aided by 90,000 crore rupees in government investors. There are schemes like PM Mitra, which is the PM Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel, and the PLI, of course, which are the production-linked incentive schemes. However, it is better to consider all the positives with a pinch of salt. This is because KPR Mill faces a few challenges going ahead. One is the cotton price volatility. The profitability of the company is sensitive to cotton and cotton yarn prices. These are influenced by cultivation area, monsoon, and global demand and supply dynamics. Cotton prices peaked at 1 lakh rupees per candy in FY23 and have now dropped to about 57,000 rupees per candy. While this eases raw material costs, any sharp fluctuation without a matching move in yarn prices could hurt margins. Secondly, there are currency and geopolitical risks. With over a third of its revenue from exports, exchange rate fluctuations and trade tensions like the US-China conflict can impact KPR's global earnings. Thirdly, there is policy dependence when it comes to ethanol. The government governs ethanol pricing under the Ethanol Blending Program. Any change in blending targets, cane pricing, or procurement norms could affect profitability. Also, changes in government policies in India and internationally, such as FTAs or other policy shifts, could also have an impact on KPR Mills. Then there are valuation concerns. The company trades at a PE ratio of 47.2, well above its 10-year median of 18.7, indicating high growth expectations are already priced in. If the sector recovery remains sluggish, the stock may be vulnerable to correction going forward. So what's the big takeaway for investors? Despite industry-wide sluggishness, KPR Mill has stitched together a strong growth story driven by integration, diversification and smart capital management. While the India-UK FTA and rising global demand act as tailwinds, cotton price volatility and premium valuation are concerns. Will KPR's next growth phase come from retail, global expansion or ethanol? Or will macro challenges unravel this story? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And for more such insights, subscribe to Bottom Line by Groww.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.